Uganda y'enkya.
Well, I think in my view, the starting point should have been the lessons learned from the COVID thing, actually. Certainly, there are positive things and negative ones from this COVID. And I must say that if you look at the post-COVID now, what lessons is actually? One thing the government must learn from this COVID is the issue of people. Whatever policies you come up with, why coming up with policies? It's for the good of the people. Okay? So how has COVID affected the people? And who has been affected by the people? I mean by the COVID. Which people who have been affected by COVID? There are a number of people, of course, in the setup. So after the people, then the economy. And if you look at the economy, agriculture. Why agriculture? We have been able to feed our people throughout this crisis. That's the biggest lesson.
Yeah.
And I think the government should know, should not beat around the bush when coming up with these policies. Target agriculture. And if you look at how much proportion it goes to agriculture these days, it's quite small. And yet throughout this COVID, agriculture has supported the economy. Uganda does not import food, okay? And certainly we are supposed to be even exporting food, okay? So throughout the COVID process, we have not suffered. We have not imported food. So it's a lesson to the government that they should not ignore agriculture. There should be too much support to agriculture because throughout the COVID period, our people have been able to feed. Now, it's quite unfortunate that when you go to the villages during COVID time, matoke, for instance, was so cheap.
Yeah.
Very cheap. And the people there suffered a lot. Okay? Again, I'm going back to agriculture. The government should not ignore agriculture. The government should start even putting more resources in agriculture. Where? In the rural areas. Put all the facilities to enable these people in rural areas live comfortably in the rural areas. They don't, throughout this period, 2 years, people have hardly moved from rural to urban areas. Okay. Now, if you can make rural areas comfortable, come up with the facilities and so on, to me, that would be number one thing. That's the biggest lesson, and that lesson should assist the government to put more resources into water agriculture. Now, which resources am I talking about? Which areas? The feeder roads in the rural areas. I know the government has done a lot about the infrastructure, that you can move from one town to another town. The infrastructure is basically from one urban area to another urban areas, but coming from the urban area to the rural areas, I don't think it's good. Okay, it's not good at all. So government should not stop at only the infrastructure from the town to town. Now it's time from town to other small towns in the rural areas, especially those which are feeding this economy. Okay. If you move from here from Masaka, go to Chamu Namukaka, there are two pineapples there. There are many pineapples there, but they're being wasted. Can you imagine that every person takes about is it 18 months growing pineapples, and the fellow ends up with the 200 shillings?
Yeah, 500.
Yeah. How? Okay, you make that economy strong. And pineapples by the outside. Our pineapples are very good in this country. Okay, those are the lessons. Okay, so continue investing in infrastructure. That's okay, but also go deep in the rural areas. Those areas which are feeding the economy. We are able to export pineapples. Able to export watermelon is everywhere these days actually. But how much is it actually? It's too cheap. They buy them at 600, 1,000, even less than 1,000 in areas. So how are they benefiting? As I said at the beginning, government should be working for the people, transforming the lives of the people, okay? It's not enough to say we are putting roads. Roads, yes, but which roads are we talking about? Main ones, that's fine, but now go deep in what? In the rural areas, okay? The issue of the water also, you cannot forget that issue. In the rural areas also. And I do appreciate regarding electricity. I think this government has done extremely very well in that sector, energy, electricity. At least, and as you know, what the people, when you talk about in this country, that is there's excess supply of electricity, people don't believe that. It's true, there's excess supply of electricity. So the question now is, how do we make our people now start demanding more electricity, okay, to assist them, okay? And the government should be serious on this one, because when you talk about now, every day I go into areas and I see charcoal, and they are destroying, they are destroying our environment, okay? The environment has gone actually. Now this electricity now is on now. Now, time for the government to do what? To make sure the people in those areas do what? Make it cheap. And I'm happy to note that the ERA has made it cheaper. It's come up with the affordable rates. And I'm sure going forward, they'll be even lower. I'm sure about that actually.
Discussing the 2 years of COVID-19, Prof, what economic opportunities has COVID-19 come with, which we have not embraced yet?
Which we have not embraced yet.
Yeah, the opportunities.
No, you see, let me say this again, that whatever policies you come up with, whatever lesson we learn from this COVID, nothing will happen in this country until two things maybe happen. Either corruption. Whatever policies we are talking about, you may debate in the parliament, come with good policies and so on. We learn these lessons and come up with good policies. The policies are very good, by the way, that the government is coming up with. But how come they're hardly working? I think the issue is about the corruption. Two things. The government expenditure. Public sector expenditure is too much. Okay? Only by cutting 50% of the government expenditure, divert that money to other sectors, to agriculture, to tourism and schools and so on, you will greatly benefit. So, I'll say this again, corruption. Too much money goes into corruption in this country. Now, you may sit in the cabinet, you may do this and come up with good policies. Will they work? They will not work, but they are good policies. So even now, I suggest a good policy now. It will not work until the government seriously, genuinely thinks about what? About corruption. And also the excessive government expenditure on the public sector. I mean, it's too much money that goes into that, okay? So how do we move with those two things there when they are still there? No, we can't move. So we must think about it. Let's now put the money. Okay, the issue of the tourism, it's okay. It's one of the good things, a lesson from this COVID, that when you look at the tourism sector has been dead actually for some time. And yet it's one of the good sectors, but you have got three sectors: industry, agriculture, and tourism, service sector, which includes also tourism. Okay. The service sector, of course, in terms of employment, employs most people. But now it has been badly affected. There is too much unemployment because of the what? Because of the COVID. So that's what we are saying, that the government has to come in the what? In the export sector. The real sector, that's the real sector, agriculture and so on. We have to do something also. The lesson again, exports went down.
Yes.
What about imports? Even the imports went down. We have not been importing because even there, I mean, can you imagine that getting now a new car in Uganda it's very difficult. You may go to those people who are importing them, but they can't get a new car. Of course, the second-hand cars may come, but a new car, it has been difficult. They haven't been coming into this country because of what? Because of the COVID. And that's another lesson. Our exports have gone down. Our imports have also done what? Gone down, because few have been coming in. So government and the policy must emphasize industrialization. I'm happy to note that the government is trying its best. Parks have been opened, Namanga is there, Ginger is there, and so on. They are coming up. So that's another target area to industrialize this economy. Okay? Because once another catastrophe comes here, we are going to face the same situation. There'll be no exports and there'll be no what? Imports. So what do? Let's emphasize the what? The industrialization. And once you do that, of course, it's going to assist us in terms of what? Of employment. The revenue, government revenue is going to do what? To increase. Taxes, of course, because the taxes are very high, I know, but genuinely they should be like that, because the government has got to run. Okay, so in the world of widening the tax base, let's emphasize the industrialization, because from the COVID experience, we have seen that our exports have gone down, and yet the imports also have gone down. So the solution is to do what? To industrialize, going to start making the imports.
There was a year, yes, you're speaking about industrialization. I'm not remembering the year, but there was a year when actually you emphasized on government changing and actually making some changes in the education system. Yes, we would love to be industrious as a country. We open up industrial parks, but are the masses and citizens industrious? Because our education system, in fact, be told from nursery up to university, it's not industrious, and it being disastrous at the end that we are opening up parks. We are actually spending huge sums of money, but at the end, the masses are not prepared for that. With a long journey in school, they end up going into parks, or those industrial parks, needing more time to be groomed and what.
That's right, yeah.
Yes, what do you have to say about that?
In
regards to the education sector.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yesterday and every day I hear people about this government. And this is not a criticism, it is a positive criticism actually on the government. Yesterday I think it was the Minister of IT, Byalina, he was talking about that there was one university, Makerere University. Now there are many universities. There are very many schools. The issue is not the number. Yeah. The issue is the quality. Yeah. What are they teaching? What is there? What's the quality? Yes, it's one university, now there are about 50 universities. But what are they teaching? Is this new university adding anything new, okay, to our people? You are right, there's something wrong with our education system. Okay? And again, that's COVID thing. It has taught us a lesson, actually, that just going to school without any practical skill will not assist us. Okay, so certainly, we government had another lesson. They should think about our education system. They should not emphasize the number of universities. They should emphasize the quality. Okay. The issue is not economic growth. The issue is development. Yes, this is transform the lives of our people. So if you have got too many people, too many universities, with too many graduates, is that assisting us to transform the lives of our people, the lives in our communities? The answer is no. As you have correctly said, people do graduate, end up with no employment. Why? Partly because this education they did acquire from schools was not matching the needs of the society. So certainly a good lesson. Let's do something about the education system of this country seriously. Okay. And there are quite a number of ministers there. They should be sitting down seriously. I'm happy they've talked about now changing the education. I mean, is the O-level one?
Yeah, the new curriculum.
The new curriculum.
Putting it into effect.
Except that now it has come, coincidentally, the COVID is there. I mean, it was introduced at a time when the COVID is coming, but it's a good idea. But the emphasis is not number. The emphasis is about what? Quality. So we have to change the quality, the education curriculum. It annoys me to see that people, our children, even younger ones, they learn something which is not practical at all. Okay? Why should we really? Yes, general knowledge is fine. We need to know what's happening in other countries. But you find that people spend so much time learning about the geography of America, the geography of Canada, and so on. And yet, ours here, we don't even teach it actually, okay? Yeah. So I think curriculum should change and emphasize the needs of our people. So the question now of technical, because now people are saying that maybe have more technical schools. Yes, we need maybe more technical schools, but even then within the university system, okay, and I'm happy to note that, you see, when you look at our doctors, Uganda doctors, are quite good because they go to the field. Okay? Yes, in some of the universities have now introduced this internship, internship, but for how long? It is to 1 month. So what do you learn from that one internship, 1 month, okay? And I think more time now should be devoted to internship. Practical internship, actually. Not just for the sake of learning something from there, okay? Just like the medical school are doing, actually, yeah. Engineering should be the same thing also, okay? Yeah. So you're right, we need to change the education system.
Yeah, Prof, me as a journalist and a person who has followed things, or I always follow things critically, actually follow different countries, and in terms of the comparative politics and comparative economics, I sit down and ponder times that, as you've mentioned, economy versus the education system, don't you think, Prof, we've wasted money and time? Yes, I can be told, industrial parks have been opened, they have been constructed, and we must applaud government for that. But do you agree with me that it is time versus money wasted when even the generation we've groomed for many years in terms of the education, we've killed it, and we are taking them into an industrial era whereby we are still even lagging behind. Other countries are in the fifth revolution. Don't you think we've killed the citizens by taking them into an era whereby they're not comparative or even competitive? And like, I don't know whether you speak with me in terms of wasting resources, yet back here the citizens have been killed by the education system.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, entirely right. The education system has killed our people here. But I mean, going forward now, what do? We can't just continue lamenting, okay, our education system, okay. No, I think the thing is to have people in the government being serious and start on this matter serious lecture, okay, so that we don't continue losing. Agreed, past is the past, okay. We have lost, okay. But moving forward now, what do? Let's do the right thing, actually.
Okay, getting to previously, actually this year, President insisted that yes, the economy must be reopened, either there is a full vaccination of the entire population or not. But there is this question that always comes to me. Yes, we faced tough times posed by COVID-19. Do you think the masses should celebrate, or they should sit down, or they should actually wait for tough times ahead? Because many have started celebrating. You as an economist, do you think there is need to celebrate amidst the economic crisis?
I don't know what people are celebrating about, actually. The opening up of the economy, it was bound to happen, actually. It was even long overdue. So government, we thank the government for opening up the economy. But most importantly, I think, is now the people. Because the government is there, but most importantly, the people ourselves. What do we do in these circumstances? Economy has been opened, it's very good. This change the mindset, basically.
Yeah.
The issue, when you look at our people, they are looking at government to provide everything to them, okay? I whenever I hear something like Nabanja money, I really feel bad, actually, okay? And people, they were there waiting for 100,000, which got finished a long time ago, okay? No, there should be a mindset. Later people start moving, people start working, actually. What we need from the government is just to give us appropriate environment only, a conducive environment, okay? But we have to work. Starting from ourselves, actually. The education system, we have talked about education system, provide the appropriate education system, and people start working. And the people should stop thinking about government, that the government is going to give them whatever they want, actually, okay? Just provide a conducive environment, but not these handouts. I hate the handouts, actually, okay? Yes, there are people who have been affected by this COVID during this time, badly affected, actually. So the government can come up with a package to assist whom? People have been affected. I mean, like the schools, the education. The government has to come in, okay, and assist the schools. Short-term relief. But at the end of the day, everything has got to be with us, the people. Why are you celebrating? Okay, opening up the economy, and let's start working. Okay, I mean, I know the night economy is very effective. It's about money, moving, changing hands, drinking, and so on. But at the end of the day, what do we get from this opening up the nightclubs? The issue is working. Okay. Yeah, we have to change, actually. Okay, we have got to relax. We have got to celebrate, but for a short time. But the issue is that people must change mindset, start working.
Yes, Prof, what lies ahead? Because I've been following you, and there are many lessons I've learned from you in regards to economics. There is this now thing we call the situational poverty. People, most of them actually, or many of them, there are those who have been unemployed, and there are those who were employed before COVID-19, and most of them then lost their jobs. So the economy is facing such a crisis after the reopening that a lot of people are unemployed right now. You're gearing up for people, or you're telling them to go and work and being busy. But, Prof, I don't know what lies ahead after everything that has happened, being brought up by COVID-19. Companies have cut the numbers of workers. A lot has happened. What lies ahead to you, Prof, in regards to our economy after the reopening?
No, I mean, government, seriously. The people under planning and the Ministry of Finance, there's this National Planning Authority, seriously, they have to do something, come up with the appropriate policy package to stimulate the economy. And one of them is relief packages to some of the sectors, okay? Appropriate allocation of resources. Resources should be going to those areas which are really needed, actually, okay? You see, these things are interconnected, okay? As I said, even if you have got a good policy package, it will not work unless those things I'm talking about are in place. I mean, as long as corruption continues in this country, you are not going to get anything new, okay? Whatever good policy you are coming from National Planning Authority, coming from the Ministry of Finance, they will not work unless those things are put in place. Do we have an appropriate, conducive environment, working environment? Yes. If you have it, that's fine. The money which has got to go, I mean, during this COVID period, many people got rich, actually. COVID money was misallocated. Things, minority departments have been coming up, and you have been wondering where are they getting the money from? This is corruption. So even if you come up with a good policy package, it will not work until those two things are made. Corruption has to stop, and then the government expenditure. I say this with all my heart. There is too much government expenditure on useless things, actually. Okay? So you can imagine that all the ministers, MPs, these leading cars, how much money do they take, actually? So what policy are you coming up with to overcome the problems of Uganda when you are still doing the same thing? Okay? It will not work. The government expenditure is too much. So I always wonder why we are even wasting. And the MPs know this actually. Okay? So even MPs must have a stand. And this is something, okay? No, I'm not criticizing the government. I mean, they have gone to Congo to fight this ADF, which is a good idea, definitely. And then we have not even explained in the parliament why you went there. Now you are coming for more money. Now, and who can say no? Hardly anybody, okay? So until people, the issue of mindset, change our mindset, the issue of loving our country, people are not patriotic at all, okay? Yes, you may talk about going to making roads in Congo, very good idea for whatever reasons, okay? Yeah, but then the trade you are talking about, things are going to come from the rural areas. The feeder roads are very, extremely, very bad, okay? So until you do those things, but that's about a government expenditure. Where is the money going? Is it going to the right places? Okay? I mean, as I said, we have talked about pineapples, 200 shillings. Why are you in government? You are in government to transform the lives of your people in societies. People, we have been in rural areas. The things there are bad, actually. People are here suffering too much, actually, okay? So it's not enough to talk about infrastructure, okay? We're in government because of our people. Let's transform the lives of our people.
Okay, Prof. I don't know whether this came in as a coincidence. Actually, now it's going into 40 years. Actually, to 40 years as yes, the leadership of President Yoweri Museveni. I don't know whether you love to give me your thoughts in terms of the economy, where we've come from, where we are headed, or where we are, where we are heading. Are we still on the safe road, or are we driving to the safe road despite the 2 years of COVID-19? We can, I think, eliminate that and ignore, but even the lessons you've said, everything. But over 36, 37 years down the road, yes, we can put the leadership on spot in terms of the economy. How have we been faring from where we started from, where we are, and where we are heading? Are we really on the course of securing the economy and even the entire nation? You as an economist.
No, I mean, in all fairness, and nobody can say anything bad about this government with regard to the economy. The economy prior 1986 was bad. We thank the government for coming up with very nice policies. Although initially it was a bit of a problem, okay? And when the government embraced the issue of liberalized economy, that's when the things came off right, actually. And here I must say that the governor, Emitima, did a very good job in this regard, and may his soul rest in eternal peace. That period was a difficult period. 86, they came up with policies, the economy was liberalized, and the economy started moving, actually. Once you start talking about the free economy, market economy, things do move. And that's why we have been having this problem of the fuel price going up, and we have not seen the government coming in to intervene. And some people have been criticizing it. Why shouldn't the government come in to intervene? No. Once you have said this is a market economy, leave it, actually. It will settle eventually, actually. And as I said, the government came up with good policies, right from, especially from 1990 up to now. But then time came when corruption came in full force, okay? People lost structure, okay? The people in government, they no longer think about their people, okay? So what am I saying? That from 1990, when the government came up with these good policies, we praised the government for those good policies. And as I said, Governor Emitima was part of this process, actually, and we thank him. But moving forward, okay, government is losing the track, actually, and I think we are off the road now. basically for no reason again. I say that again. We are off track because of the corruption and because of the excessive government public expenditure. Unless they do something, okay, to those two, whatever policy they are going to come up with, they are just wasting time. Okay, and they should give what emphasis to those sectors which matter in this country. Okay, beginning it was good, came up with good policies, but when the government, where the government is off track, is when corruption has come in, as well as excessive government expenditure. In all fairness, there is no, even if you want to balance the regions. There's so many ministers from this region, from this region. I don't think that should be the issue. The issue is about we want the economy to move. Okay, once you have identified somebody who is very good, they team run the show. Okay, yeah, but it's not just balancing. I need the balancing all the ministers. We should have got 80 ministers divided by 4 regions. No, I don't think that is the issue actually. So long as somebody is a good performer, whatever tribe he is, people will be happy. Okay. Yeah. So off track. Now it's off track because of the two things.
Okay. Yes. I will stay in the line of economics. One of the 10 points program they came up with was building a self-sustaining and independent economy. Prof, how do we build that? And I know, because I won't repeat that, because you've already told me corruption and the excessive government expenditure. Perhaps, I don't know whether it's part of the problem that has failed us from building a self-sustaining and independent economy. But to review, okay, to the listeners who may not know, how do we get to that self-sustaining, and why have we failed to get to that for many years under this leadership, Prof?
No, under the leadership, they have tried their best actually. They have tried their best. They just want to do what? To work a bit harder, but they are trying their best. And self-sustaining, of course, means things to be interconnected well, moving well. As I've already said, that one of the major facility is the infrastructure, and they have done that. But then I'm saying, when I talk about self-sustaining, I'm talking about that person, the rural area, who is growing pineapple, who is growing watermelon, and is being paid what? 300. Now, we want that fellow there in that rural setting, okay? Also to be what? Assisted, okay? So let the government also, if you want to have this self-sustaining economy, let the government also do much more than it is doing now in the rural what? In the rural setting, okay? Okay? This again, I mean, like electricity, I know it's going there. They have started, but the road network is not yet actually, okay? This value chain, okay, from this fellow is growing pineapple. Is he able to sell it to somebody else? There should be somebody there. So improve the what? The marketing what? Facilities within the what? Within the region, okay? Sustaining, they have tried their best. It's just a few things which are lacking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking of, yes, still on the same thing, we're seeing on the market, that's the reality and it's practical. If we are to build a self-sustaining economy, yes, we borrow too much. We shall speak on to that very soon. But we're having a lot of China products on the market versus the Ugandan products. If we are saying that buy Uganda, yes, build Uganda, I don't know whether the influence of the Europeans and even the whites and the Western countries, don't you think it's part of the problem, Prof, that's hindering our construction or building of the self-sustaining economy? I don't know what your views are onto that. My thought.
Yeah, no, you are right. The Chinese products are here and so on. We just need to improve on what we are doing. Okay, as I said before, the issue is not quantity. Yes. The issue is what? Quality. Yeah. So what are we producing? What quality things are we producing in Uganda? Okay, so just add on the value. Let's improve on what we are doing. Okay, making sure Because I go back to that example of pineapples. You said pineapples, the way the packaging is really bad. If you are serious trying to do what to sell them outside, I mean, like I obviously good example in China, where they are growing pineapples, and you find the Kenyan trucks there. Why can't we accept street actually? Okay, so the issue is adding on value. Let's improve the quality of whatever we are doing. Our products are still poor, but they can be improved, I'm sure. Yeah.
Speaking of the public debt and the foreign debt, of course, for so many years our debt has been growing. It's so recent where actually I think in this financial year where Parliament and even Cabinet came out to say yes, we are diversing means of not having or not adding more debt onto what we have today. Discussing the public debt, Prof, after the reopening of the economy, because fact be told, for someone who has been following everything happening into this country, our economy can't, or our budget cannot rely or cannot independently be supported by the nation or by the citizens. Everything, at least we need something to borrow somewhere and then handle other issues, but of which government has always been saying, no, this debt is not worrying, is not, we've not reached the threshold, we're not there yet, but a lot has been happening. Do you sit down and ponder about the debt, that we are there in that worrying state, and by the way, how do we get out of that situation to see that our grandchildren and the granddaughters and everybody won't be suffering because of this problem, the public debt?
Yeah. I'm sorry to say that whatever I'm saying, my answer lies on two things. I go back to corruption. Borrowing is not bad. Public debt is not bad, so long as it is a productive what? Debt. Okay? It's what you call dead weight, that you borrow money and the outcome of it is very bad actually. You have borrowed money to go and fight somewhere. You have borrowed money to pay salaries of the people. Those are non-productive debts. You have borrowed money to set up dams, energy facilities. That's very good. You have borrowed money to do what? To construct roads. Now, why are they borrowing money, some of these people? Entebbe Express, maybe I came by Entebbe Express, very good idea, okay? And the write-up is there. That is a very expensive what? Very expensive road. Now, was that genuine to have such a debt? It was a good idea to have such a debt. It eases what? Transport facility and so on. But then, the construction, how much was it? That value they are giving us, is that a true value? Okay. That is what corruption I talked about, okay? So you may find that maybe half of the money was not used to the road construction. Half of the money went to the what? I'm just making a supposition, okay? But which is true, by the way, because people have been talking about the thing that road is very expensive and part of the money went into corruption. So this public debt you are saying, partly it has gone up because of what? Corruption, okay? And at the end of the day, who's going to suffer? We are going to suffer, our children are going to suffer, okay? Because of the what? Of the corruption. Now, if we are going to borrow money and have more lead cars, lead cars, that's about a what? Government what? Expenditure, okay? So the public debt is very unfortunate, that's going up, but it could have been stopped, okay? That public debt where it is, it's because of our mistakes. The leadership, okay? Because the government has done nothing about corruption. Hardly, by the way. I've just seen the newspaper today that they have appointed somebody else to replace Nakalema. That's wasting time, okay? Because the institutions we do have, of the IGG, I mean the one of Bikambwe, it's just enough. Just strengthen that one. Put that man they are talking about Nakalema into the same what? Into the same thing. Strengthening it actually. Things will be much better. So back to the question of the public debt. Public debt has come. It's very unfortunate. We have to pay it. But it came up because of the corruption and the excessive government expenditure. Okay. Yeah.
Well, speaking of, because this is the question all Ugandans listening to love to hear, and more so those ones in the diaspora. You as an economist, where would you love to see this country in the next 5, 10, and 20 years, in case God grants you more life and add on more years? Where would you love to see our nation in regards to building a vibrant, self-sustaining, and independent economy? Speaking about the future now, Prof.
Vividly. I think the past is the past now.
Yes.
We just want to see a better Uganda than this one, okay? The problem is that, number one, the leadership must accept that there are mistakes that they have made. Now, as long as they continue criticizing other people, we can't move. A better Uganda I want a leadership which accepts that they can also do something wrong, accept the past, accept the wrong thing they have done. That one, once they do accept that, I think we can have a better Uganda. The better Uganda I want the people, the rural people, the rural areas, to make a living also. Our people are living badly in the rural areas. The issue is, it's really pathetic actually, okay? I come from Uganda, and Uganda is relatively, last time I was in the north, and I looked at what's going on there. I look at the houses, I mean it's still bad actually, okay? Even some parts of Uganda here, things are bad. You've been in the rural areas here. Look at the sewage, it's terrible. Look at the disorder in Kampala, okay? You cannot talk about attracting more FDI, for direct investment, when you have got a disorderly city, okay? I want to say a smart town, a smart city, okay? I want to see people who are patriotic, who are thinking about their countries. I want to have a country which is almost corruption-free, which of course may be difficult, but at least I want to see the leaders loving their people, that they are working for the people. But number of projects you see here, they are not for the people at times. Because if they are the people, I would have loved to see the infrastructure being, of course, improved, okay? I thank government for improving the infrastructure, but they can do much more than that, okay? Yeah. I would like to see a country which does not emphasize quantity, but I want a country which emphasizes quality. Because you may think about these so many hospitals we have, which is by the way, good lesson for COVID, okay? That the government expenditure somehow went down. People were going abroad because of the COVID. They could not go out. They had to remain where? Remain here. So, but what have we done about our hospitals? As much as we're talking about Mulago, but at least the last 2 weeks, I saw somebody in Mulago. The situation was not good also there in Mulago, okay? I think we need to have a very good health infrastructure throughout the country, not only in where here in Mulago, Kampala, but all the Mulagos. You used to have Mulagos everywhere, okay? There's Mulago in Masaka. Those things should be the referral hospitals should be improved, okay? As I speak now, okay, people are still going where? Abroad. Why are they going abroad? And abroad where, by the way? Going to Kenya?
To Kenya.
Kenya and Uganda, what should be the difference? And you find that our doctors are also where? In Kenya. So I would love to see our people, the doctors produced in this country, remaining here. They then be well paid actually. Does the government have the money to pay these doctors? Yes. If you can have that that government expenditure on so many people they are appointing, that money can be transferred to what? to the doctors, to the lecturers, to the teachers here, okay? Yeah, because too much money is being spent on useless things, actually. Yeah. Which, of course, for the government, they see them as what? Something which is okay, but I think that's what I was saying, that if the government can accept criticism from other people, I think we can move.
Prof, one thing I love about you is that you've, I think, groomed a nation in terms of the economics. You've taught a lot of, whom I would love to call your sons and daughters, good economics. Everyone I meet at times, different people in different sectors, ministries, they were like, yeah, we're really happy. We are really happy they're really happy for what you did, the job, and they really appreciate. But Prof, you sit down, because wherever you go, your sons and daughters are crying. The ones you taught, yes, the economy is bad, and we must accept that. But every time, salary increment, if not that, strikes, laying down of tools, things to do with that year in, year out. Without COVID-19, without what? Salary increment, everything to do with doctors, whatever, teachers, everywhere. It's bad for many years, Prof. I don't know, how would we get out of that crisis? Because I know at times you even sit on TV with what we broadcast, doctors laying down tools for a month, 2 months, teachers, and even public servants. What comes into your mind, Prof, to those sons and daughters you've taught the good economics, and of which most of them, they are proud of having lessons from you, Prof?
No, I mean, it's absurd. I mean, when you hear people crying about the salary increments, laying down tools, the question is, what is the cause of this? Why are they asking? Are they asking these salary increments genuinely? Chances are high that they're asking that salary increments what genuinely. And I think what bothers them most is to see people who are not supposed to, who are not worth those big salaries, getting them, okay? And again, under looking at some of these professions, actually, okay? No, they are right to demand for those salary increments.
Because we're speaking income inequality here.
Income inequality is too much, and genuinely these people are working, okay? I mean, when you said doctor, really, doctors, they really work, actually.
Yes.
And they are well qualified. And so you are demanding this size genuinely. There's no way you can give somebody, is it 3 million or less than 3 million, 2 million, to whether it's the first degree of a medical person. I mean, he's doing a good job, okay? Well, of course, the problem we have is to compare ourselves with the MPs. Yeah, even MPs, they should get that salary. There's not too much money, but what the MPs are getting. It is genuinely, they should be even getting more, okay? But I think where I blame them is where they don't think about other people, okay? Okay? They should sit down seriously and say, these doctors, why are they crying for salary increments? Are they genuine? The answer is they are genuine. So Parliament should sit down seriously. But people should not criticize them for getting that salary. They are justified to get the salary. I mean, the administrators, the legislators, they should get. But genuinely, but as I said, I go back to my 2 things I talked about. Corruption, excessive government expenditure. Yeah. You find that the money which should have gone to those doctors is going in these lady cars, actually, okay? Because you can find lady cars. I mean, there are many, by the way, lady cars, actually, okay? That's too much, actually. The money in corruption, I've told you that if the road is costing 3 million, genuinely, they are going to say, what, 10 million? Okay? And that 10 million, who is going to pay it? It is us, okay? We are paying that for extra 50% of the money goes into corruption. That extra 50%, I wish it should have gone to this what?
Uganda Yancha.